We got 9 o'clock.
Phone turned on.
Okay. We got 9 o'clock, folks, and a busy day. Everybody please rise for the pledge of allegiance, followed by the prayer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Commissioner Williams, will you please lead us in the prayer?
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Father, be with us as we do the business of Mills County. Guide us and direct us in all our actions. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. All right. It is 9 o'clock. We have a forum of all commissioners here. And looking at number 2, review and act on minutes, July 22nd, July 29th, and July 31st. Commissioners, we go through the minutes, see if there's any changes, corrections we need to do.
Sonia, it's not that big a deal, but I mean, on July 31st, where I was talking, it said vehicle stuck in the road, and it says due to trees and debris, but they was actually stuck because they tried to cross a ditch in the road. They got stuck in the ditch, not debris and trees.
That was on which day, Commissioner Head?
Yes, ma'am.
Talking about number on the first page, Commissioner had stated several trees down that moved out of the roadways and ditches. No, where are we talking here?
Precinct 2.
Says precinct 2, Canada, about
Mine has question marks on it. Do y'all see this question marks?
yeah, fourth line down on where it says precinct 2.
A vehicle was stuck in the road due to trees and debris. They were stuck in the ditch.
There was a ditch across the road that they were stuck in.
That's still.
Precinct 3, I sure don't remember saying it. I'd like the first and second sentence stricken. Says Commissioner Parkin stated that many fences were down and debris was all over and still has it this time. Percentage of work completed would be 75%.
Okay, I wasn't in this meeting while the other parts were said that. Then you went back and corrected it because we were just talking about it.
No, I never said anything about fences being down.
Okay. So you just want to strike that first sentence?
Work completed would be strictly on the day of 5 days.
Okay. Anything else? Okay, any other changes?
I have a question. I got a question mark on precinct 1's. I don't know what that's for. I wasn't at the meeting, so.
Same day?
What question about?
Oh, it's got a question mark on it.
Oh,
I think that you have to have a non-corrected version because mine does not have question marks, so I don't know how you got it.
31st, Commissioner Williams, or which one?
Precinct 1, it says Commissioner Wright stated, crossed out, stated, question mark, did not weigh.
We have different versions of.
This is what's in my back.
Okay.
And I wasn't.
they were asking what's the time and just where did you?
You're the odd duck for the day.
You need to read this stuff? I don't know that.
Okay, other corrections or changes, Commissioners? Everything's look good?
I make a motion to approve them with the changes made.
Motion's been made by Commissioner Head. I'll second that motion with the changes made. All in favor of approving the minutes of July 22nd, 29th, and 31st, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it.
Extending.
He's staying on the last one, the, what, July 31st?
We didn't separate these.
All three of them.
The motion was all three, so he can't, he's either in or out.
I'm stuck.
I'm saying from all three, but it passes.
Okay, we're good? Okay, number 3, audience of individuals. I don't see an audience of individuals. Number 4, we had a consider act on accounts payable, and we overlooked that. There was no accounts payables today. Commissioners, so our apologies for having that in there. Moving on to number 5, consider an act on line item transfer. Commissioner Parton, I think that's yours, sir.
We found there 20,000 out of the equipment repair. Huge repair bills and they're not over with yet, so we need to move 20,000 to get paid what we can pay and see where we're at.
Okay. We'll make a motion on that.
Do we have a transfer?
That shows here in our box that we have it 20,000.
Yeah.
Make a motion to approve the transfer. Transfer.
Second.
The motion been made by Commissioner Wright, the line item transfer, second by Commissioner Williams. In the discussion, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Number 6, consider an act on approving order for general election for the November 5th, 2024 election. Ms. Sonia, do I need to prep anything up for you with that?
Anything we've seen multiple times. If you have any questions, let me know.
Any questions, commissioners? Hearing none, I'll make a motion. We approve the order for general election for the November 5th, 2024 election.
Second. Mike.
I made a motion, a second's been made by who? Commissioner Wright. Commissioner Wright made the second. Any other questions, discussion on this?
We both did at the same time.
Use either one of us.
Okay. All those in favor of approving the general election for November 5th, 2024 election, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Number 7, consider an act on election judges and polling locations for the 24-26 election cycle. Sonia, again, any comments or anything? We need to.
No, we can make this designation now every 2 years, but as people agree to be an election judge and they have other things come up, you'll see this come through more than 2 years because we have to update it when people drop off of the rolls.
Okay. Commissioners, any questions on this part? Hearing none, I'll make a motion. We approve the election judges and polling locations for the 24-26 election cycle. I made a motion, second by Commissioner Head. Any other discussion? All those in favor of approving the judges and polling locations for the 24-26 election cycle, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Number 8, consider an act on county vehicle registration fee schedule for the DMV. This is Lori's department, and we do this every year. County Commissioners Courts are statutorily required to notify the Texas Department of Motor Vehicle each year regarding the imposition or removal of optional fees. Notice must be made to the TXDMV each year by September the 1st, with new fees taking effect on January 1st of the following year. And we're matched out on our fees. And discussing with Ms. Lori, she said no changes need to be made. So I will make a motion that we approve the fee schedule for DMV,
Same as last year.
same as last year.
Second.
Okay, I made the motion, second by Commissioner Wright. Any other questions on this? All those in favor of approving the vehicle registration fee schedule for DMV, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Number 9, considering an act on Air Meds care. This is our helicopter service. We approve this every year, I guess, summer. Anything I need to prep up with this or anything?
The supplemental air insurance is available to employees during their enrollment. It's the same thing we do every year, probably just an increase in price.
Okay.
This is based on individuals, employees that accepts it.
Yes.
Okay.
We just sign up for it. That's the rates they would like.
Okay, commissioners, any questions or comments?
provide that to.
All better.
Enrollment package, which I'm gonna check it out.
Make a motion to accept the Air Medicare
Okay,
proposal. Plan number 9201.
okay. Commissioner Rice made a motion to approve the AirMed Care Plan 9201. Any other discussion?
Second.
Second's been made by Commissioner Head. All those in favor of approving the AirMed Care Plan 9201, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Number 10, consider an act on resolution for Texas Indigent Defense Commission Grant Award. Read that right. I read that wrong. Resolution for the Texas Indigent Defense Commission Grant Program. Okay, this is, for the Texas Indigent Defense Commission in Mills County has been awarded the amount of $17,033. And the resolution adopted by the Commissioners Court to be adopted and submitted the applications, consider your county's acceptance of the grant terms. Again, I believe we do this every year, Commissioners. And any questions on this? Here and now, I'll make a motion that we accept the resolution for Texas Indigent Defense Grant Fund.
Second.
I made a motion, second by Commissioner Wright. Any other discussion? All those in favor of accepting the Texas Indigent Defense Commission Grant Program, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Number 11, Sheriff, you might want to come in here. We got a good jail standards report. I got the letter. I think I've got this letter in there. It says, Dear Sheriff Poole, the most recent limited compliance review of the Mills County Jail on July 10th, 2024 by the Texas Commission on Jail Standards Inspector Michael Garrett has demonstrated that your facility remains in compliance with the Texas minimum jail standards. So you'll find the requirements review that review by the jail and everything. And Sheriff Poole, good job. Go ahead.
Good morning. Yeah, they reviewed 11 separate areas. I believe it's probably like on page 2 that y'all got. And it was all pretty much a paper audit. So it was like operational plans, logs, policies, things like that. And we passed everything without any problems, no deficiencies, and we got a good grade. Jail standards on this one.
Okay. Commissioners, any questions on this part? Just discussion. Okay. Well, good job, and I appreciate y'all taking care of business over there. Good job. Number 12 then. Consider an act on Crown Correctional Telephone coinless telephone agreement First Amendment. Sheriff Poole.
So, the Crown vendor representative came by last week. And the telephones and video visitation systems that we use at the jail, the people who service those machines, whether if they break down or whatnot, they are no longer going to service those machines after September. It's just they're getting out of that business. So Crown Telephone or the Crown vendor is going to come in and replace all of the telephone systems that the inmates use and the video visitation machines. Free of charge. They don't charge the county any money for that. They do ask that we sign this First Amendment so that the contract, it doesn't increase any time to the contract. We still have 3 years left on it on a 5-year contract. Is what he said. It does change the way families can log into the system. They no longer have to log into a telephone system to put money on inmates' telephone usage and the commissary part where they get chips and snacks and soups and things. Now it's all one login for them once they change these machines out. So it'll be easier for them. And it no longer goes on minutes that they use the telephones for. Now it's used on data. So it's a little bit different fee schedule that the inmates have to pay or the family has to pay. And that's pretty much it. They just would come in as soon as we sign this, and they're going to change out all the machines. And they said it takes maybe a day or two to change all that stuff out.
So that's still gonna leave the video visitation and kiosks and the inmates and the toilets, TAOLETS. That's what's on the computer website.
Right,
So it's not changing anything there.
right, not changing anything there.
Okay. Do we need anything on the technology side?
Nope,
Okay.
no, sir, they'll come in and just change all this stuff out, and it's basically the same thing, it's just gonna be by a different company.
Does it change anything on the commission? You know, or the meter goes on the machine?
Not really, like I said, it goes from a minutes, to a data charge, and it's pretty much the same thing. Actually, it'll probably be less money for the inmate, but the commissions and everything coming in should be about the same.
And Sheriff, you told me that, the families prepaid these fees and stuff for their
Correct.
members who are incarcerated.
Right, so they'll log into the system and they can put money on the inmates' books. And they can use it for, now with this, they can use it for anything, phone calls, videos, chips, snacks, the e-cigarettes, anything that falls under commissary and telephone, it'll all be under one point now.
Okay.
So who's gonna service these once they put them in?
So it's a different company,
But they do have somebody that's gonna service.
yes, oh, yes.
And that's probably why they're changing them out. Yeah. Gotcha.
Okay.
I make a motion that we approve the Crown Correctional Phone and Coinless Telephone Agreement with the First Amendment, it's still the contractor.
Okay. Commissioner Williams made a motion to approve the, Coinless telephone agreement, First Amendment.
Second it.
Second's been made by Commissioner Ryan in the discussion. All those in favor of approving the, motion for the Coinless telephone agreement, First Amendment, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Sheriff, thank you. We have another question coming up in a minute. Number 13. Consider an act on new curb work to be done at LEC with two different bidders, Taylor Construction and Pear Lake Concrete and Construction. In your package, Commissioners, Buster Taylor has given, I think we approved this back in April, correct? We did some of this stuff. And of course, the floods hit, everybody's got busy and whatnot. I reached back out to Buster Taylor. His is up slightly. The reason for the increase was the city of Gold Blaze told him that if he does get the bid for the concrete work for the curb, that he also has to tie in the curb with his own asphalt to the street, city street of Gold Blaze. You heard the same thing, hadn't you, Sheriff?
Yes, yeah, that's correct.
Yes, and regarding time frame, I did ask Buster, if we do approve this, when can you start work? He said he could start in 2 to 3 weeks. So,
At one time, we approved 15,000.
Yeah, that's what I was fixing to say. We approved 15,000 for Buster,
Do it for 10,5.
that's 10-5.
and he said he would do it in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So the other bid that's in there is, a local gentleman that lives here. I know it's an Austin company, but he's come in and that's, I mean, you got his bid in front of you. What's different, and I don't know, Taylor Construction has 330 feet of curb work. And Pear Lake has 460. And I don't know what Mr. Taylor's is, but on the gentleman from Parrot Lake, his wraps around the ends of that island. So I don't know there.
I remember when we talked about with Buster, it's supposed to wrap around the ends,
Yeah, so I don't know, big difference there in length.
unless he went all the way around.
460 wouldn't be enough.
Well, I mean,
You see what I'm saying?
If 330
330.
at 330 goes, like I said, when we talked to him, he was supposed to go around the ends, so 330 went around the ends and on the high side, and another 130 would be the bottom.
Yeah, but that's not what him and I measured that day, so I don't know. But I mean, we can reach out and ask him too, but his bid also includes the curb work and the pad under the gate.
Well, Buster does not.
And Buster's does not have any of that.
That, probably to me right now is more critical than the other.
But that's where the next agenda item,
Let's, yeah, next agenda, I'm talking about.
so they're both on the same,
That's nearly a $15,000 increase just for the fence versus the curb on the two bids. With Taylor's bid of 10,500 and another bid of 25,250, that's a lot of difference. For just, for the fence.
So just, those two bids, talking about Clear Lake and.
Yes,
Those two you got.
yes. Power Lake Concrete Construction LLC versus Taylor Construction.
but Pear Lake is two different projects.
Oh,
You see what I'm saying?
Bill, that's what I'm saying.
But yes,
The
it
other
is,
project
it is
for
still
the fence,
higher if you put these other two
15,000.
together. Put these other two together, it is still higher, yes.
And I believe the fence work, if we get around to that, is about $1,100 was about one bid we were gonna get to eventually that's gonna be covered by insurance, I believe. I believe that's all gonna be covered by insurance.
It was 980,
Yeah.
9,800.
Yeah, once we get down to it. So.
I don't know. I just know it needs to be fixed.
Okay,
Both of them do. So
we talked about a bid, or they're gonna talk about a bid when they go apples to apples, or we're talking about the curb itself, including the fence, or we're gonna separate them all out.
I was under the assumption that on the first time that it was all together. Cause that's why we agreed to 15,000, but
Well, that's why we said that was just the curb work.
But on the first time, we were gonna use those concrete deals. And we were gonna do the retaining wall on the fence ourselves. And then we got to looking at it, we decided we needed that curb.
across the end, yeah.
I don't think we ever even got any quotes on doing that, did we?
Buster said that he would do it, but he never, that's why we said that we'd go up to 15,000. I don't know, I mean, I just,
Buster will do it, but we've already approved it to be done 3 or 4 or 5 months ago, and it's still not done.
Well, I talked to him this weekend. He said he started, we give him the go ahead 2 to 3 weeks.
It's 4 months ago.
He was told, when I talked to him, he was told to hold off for a little bit after the. So we got the courthouse done, what he was told me.
I don't know who told him that, I told him that was already approved to be done. Certain court.
cause the sheriff wanted it done last week, right?
For the next flood. Before the fence collapses. When the fence collapses.
But the end of the year is nearly up, so how, I mean, if we're digging into our stuff, we gotta get it done now, but it's not in next year's budget.
Summarize the question.
$1,100 or $11,000?
Equipment and fixtures and jail extensors, am I reading it right? 22,000. Equipment and fixtures. The,
Are you talking next year's budget or
I'm
this?
talking about this current budget. Yeah, I believe that's what we had left. 22,000 equipment and fixtures. And on the sheriff's office expense there, yeah, true, there's not much money there. I think about $1,000 or something total there. Suggestions,
I don't know, but $1,100, and then we got. I think 10,000 for the fence, it's a big difference.
yeah.
Can we go back to insurance and get more?
The fence fixing the annual wall.
Well, that's what.
Yeah, that's what the retaining wall bumpers are.
It's two bids.
Sean Langland.
Sean, yes, I mean,
Commissioners, let's keep discussing. Let's figure out what we can do here.
I'm for Leighton Buster Taylor, go ahead and if he'll do the curves, let's get the curves done along with the, as he's working on those curves, then maybe we can talk to him about fixing that fence at the same time and having it all done less than what we're saying here on the numbers.
The only thing that his quote though didn't include that fee.
I understand that. But that's what I'm saying, why can't we negotiate that with them while,
So he put in this bid, does it include the pavement work?
Yes, that includes payment work, yes, to tie in.
and I think Buster's worked for us before, the county. And he's always made changes of what we need and stuff without really adding on the price. Just like down at the EMS building, it's about half what he did it for, what we got bids for.
Yeah.
And it turned out a pretty good project, pretty good job too.
Yes.
I think he needs to, if we're gonna do that, he needs to submit a bid for the other work too.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm, but let it get started on this and we can work with him
Okay.
on the fence. And let him submit a bid to us on it. And then we'll come back to these other two.
Guess it doesn't matter, I guess you can come up at a second time.
I mean, it'd be best if we can do it all at once, for sure.
What do you wanna do? Just go ahead and. We have one bid, we have two bids that say they'll do it. Is that correct? One bid for 98, one bid for 25.
Buster's a little higher, I think, what, 10,500,
Yeah,
10,500.
yeah, but that's Sean Mangum.
I know that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what
yeah.
I'm saying. There's three bids in front of us. All three bids are different. About the fence and about the curbs and.
But three bids ain't the same repair.
No,
Mangum's just, pertains to that corner,
No. That's it.
and he's got $1,100 for the fence repair, but the majority of it your concrete buildings.
Yes.
See, while we couldn't in the county do the building work, if we get concrete.
Yeah.
concrete's 7,500.
I'm sure that's still a whole thing up over.
No,
It wasn't?
building container wall, because it says their work to fill in behind retainer. That's probably a 4 or 6 inch retainer wall, and that outside edge, and then it'll be filled in the backside of there.
And the sheriff, I believe, on that main guy, the fence, y'all did contact him a few weeks ago to make sure that quote's still good.
That's correct.
Yeah.
I mean, probably those H braces are gonna have to be concreted into that retainer wall.
Right, and
Somehow.
those braces have already broke too, so that have to be welded and all that.
Yeah.
The whole thing right now is hanging by where a chain got welded. Because whoever did that weld.
It was good, huh?
I deserve their money, because that's the only thing holding that fence up right now.
Yeah, it washed my plumb past the pipe on the bottom.
Some are non-departmental expense, can we use building improvement expense on some of this project or?
You have insurance bills, or
Yes.
bills from the damage to the courthouse coming in that is not coming close to what we're getting in insurance money, so I'm a little hesitant
Okay,
and nervous to do that until we see those final figures, and I thought they were gonna get those this week, but
okay,
I mean, if that's what we have to do, we have to do
Okay.
it. You've got to think about that, pay all those bills. We'll possibly have to make a big budget amendment at the end of the year for a deficit in this, so.
okay.
And I don't know what else Guy has planned for within that.
Yeah.
Money that he. So. Y'all just, that's what I'm saying, y'all just need to tell me where I need to pay for it up front, and we'll go from there.
Curb work, y'all have that covered, right? The curb work, y'all have that covered, right?
On price?
Money-wise?
Do you have the money in your budget to pay for the cover?
Yeah, we had the 22,000 in, figured equipment, I believe.
And curb work, if you go with bus and buy.
Right.
Okay.
But I'd much rather have that whole fence and that fixed.
I think we need, personally, I think we need to get back with Buster and get him to look at that corner and get him to give us a total on both of them.
Well, we got a lot of discussion going on, and we can, of course, as you know, we're gonna have the commissioners court meeting scheduled Monday. We can sure reach out, get some more of our questions answered, so this Commissioner Borton. I mean, whatever you want to do.
The question to answer is just see if he's willing to turn the bid in on the corner.
You talking about the impound yard there,
Yeah,
do that too?
and then also double check that 330 feet, whether it's around the deal or just down that edge. I think it should be around it, around the corners, I think.
That's what we talked.
I mean, I remember we talked about it because even on even on your north side, it washes coming off the road, so we talked about how to make a C. I guess you can say a C-shaped curve, you know, all the way, like that, and leave the bottom open.
Yeah.
So that's why,
Well, sure, we all want to take care of it and get this done, but we want to do it properly, make sure we got funding and whatnot that we need to do, so. I'm hearing, I think it might be better to table this until the following Monday. And then come back and with some more,
we can get Buster to.
get Buster, would you mind reaching out to Buster on some of that?
No, I don't mind calling.
We can make a motion, we're still discussing. I'll make a motion that we table. Is that? Okay, I'll make a motion that we table the bid work for the new curb work at the law enforcement center.
How about both of those, 13 and 14 items that you're?
Well, 14 is gonna be the deal on the retaining wall, is all that is.
But that's what we're gonna have
Yeah.
Buster to
Yeah,
get.
we're gonna have Buster get a quote on that. So.
For me, you table 13 and 14 both, and then get a bid back for apples to apples on all of it, so,
Okay. Okay,
I second Jet's motion on 13.
was my motion ample enough, Simon, to get through? Okay, you got a motion and a second. All those in favor of tabling number 13, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, number 14, consider an act on fence and retaining wall repair at LEC. Commissioners,
Make a motion that we table this.
okay, motion's been made by Commissioner Williams to table this, and I will second that motion. End the discussion. All those in favor of tabling number 14 on the fence and retaining wall at LEC, aye. Aye. Any opposed? How's that?
Yeah.
Sheriff, again, we're not putting you off, we're gonna try to get this done, but I just think there's a few questions to get answers.
Let's see if we can get it on Monday's agenda.
Yes, Jackie, we'll put that on Monday's agenda and get everything clarified.
So
okay?
Robert, if you're gonna talk to him, see if you can get it a result by Monday.
Okay.
yeah, Robert's one talking to him, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Sheriff, thank you. I think that's all for right now.
Thank you.
Number 15, consider an act on courthouse handicap construction. Guy coming up here, I'll start things off. Louis Coronado started work Friday afternoon, right, 2 p.m. jackhammering. He jackhammered probably 5-6 hours. I came up, checked on him several times, checked on him Saturday, several times and Sunday. And everything went according to schedule pretty well. Now, he jackhammered the first layer up, and then he found another concrete layer underneath there. He had jackhammer up, which is about a foot thick. But he got it out, it looked very professional. Got the bin in, the grate in, and he is saying that we can get this thing open Friday morning. And Guy wants you to get more intricate details on this deal, answer any questions commissioners have.
Briefly, once he jackhammered through, never did find a 4-inch line. So what he did find was a 2-inch line from the small drain, which ran into the cross drain, which had a 3-inch line. And it runs all the way out in front of the steps and over into the lift station, and ties into a 4-inch somewhere in there. We don't know. So basically what we've got, you put that 10-foot drain. It's got 3 2-inch drops down into a 2-inch pipe, which goes into the cross drain, which is a 3-inch pipe. which takes it out to the port. Everything is poured. They're doing just some touch up on a couple of rough spots they're gonna grind out. You had grates made so that we won't have stuff hanging up on, they're removable and all of that. He came in under his estimate. So, I got a text from him this morning that, now all we owe him is $3,177.50. It will be finished up where we can get on it Friday. But we must keep all traffic off of it through Thursday.
Can you tell me what that, number was again?
$3,177.50. I asked him, it just texted me, I asked him to provide me an invoice so I can pass it on to accounts payable.
So the original drain that's right at the end of the ramp, he didn't mess with it, what?
He did not take it out, but he's gonna put a new grate on the top. So that's where it runs into 3-inch. They did take a hose and ran it in that and ran it full blast, which I'd already done before. There's no blockages in it. It flows right through. So, I believe,
Oh, I said, bless you down.
I believe this will solve it. I didn't say I'm positive, I said I believe.
It looks like it's got plenty of slope on it.
Yeah, it's got a 2-inch slope, so it's within ADA standards, so that's a pretty good slope.
He also put a bin on that side there.
Yeah, so the 2-inch,
Right.
right, that 2-inch vent goes all the way up and over, and he's gonna paint it, so it's kind of the same color to match that wall, so it'll be anchored to the wall, what you were concerned about, so I mentioned that.
Somebody might get it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, so it'll be anchored to the wall.
I seen their grade setting out there, it's gonna be at
And,
floor level.
The what?
Their grade is setting out there on the saw license. All that's gonna be smooth.
Yes, yeah, it'll be inset. And, like I said, it's a 2-inch drop, so.
That's a lot of water. I mean, okay.
It's a lot.
Before it would even have tests running in the building.
So that new grade should catch just about. I see it as a solution. I hope it's a solution.
You know, we've done everything we can on this. The only other thing we can do, which I don't want to do right now, but assuming it does flood again, hope it doesn't. We've done a lot of work on this, but there's a pipe that goes from the French drain out to the red line. That is collapsed somewhere down the line.
That's one of the items that, is, I want to use building improvement fund. That's going to be one of the things, if money is available, that's something I want to do.
A fresh drain don't do no good if it don't drain, does it?
Absolutely right. So we've been taking this in phases. First phase is get that 6-inch line in. Second phase is to fix that drain in the basement. And the third is to get that French drain. That's really all I know to do. And from what I've been told and the people that I've talked to, that know a whole lot more about this than I do, that's what they suggested.
So again, it'll be open again Friday morning, the
Friday
handicap entrance, and anyone listening through YouTube, we're all open for business. There's been some rumors we're shut down, but we're not. We're open for business. And if you need any, designated offices, please call and we'll make arrangements to do curbside service or whatever. So if anybody can't get in. Okay.
I make a motion that we approve the courthouse handicap construction bid. Reduction in price, it was now over $3,177.50.
Okay. Motion's been made by Commissioner Williams to approve the handicap construction.
Are y'all approving to pay it or you're approving to?
Lower just accept the invoice when it's coming.
I'll pay it on Monday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Motion been made by Commissioner Williams, a second by Commissioner Parton. Any other discussion? All those in favor of approving the handicap construction and figures, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Moving on, number 16, consider an act on emergency management coordinator, David Shaw, good morning. He'll come on up here. So you all remember we've had a few commissioner court meetings, the last time, I was reluctantly going to be emergency management coordinator. But I really wasn't very excited with my duties already, and this was Sheriff Poole, which, as you will tell everybody, it is lots of work still involved with paperwork, phone calls and whatnot daily. Anyway, David Shaw has been the regional coordinator for Tatum, as y'all know, and David had informed me, I called him wishing him congratulations on retirement last week, and told him about what's going on, and he said, well, I would be interested in being the emergency management coordinator for Mills County. For y'all's information, he lives out towards Scouting area. He's a Mills County resident. And David, I'll read to you a little bit of his bio. He was years focused on local communities across the state as a regional liaison officer, district coordinator, and district chief with Texas Division of Emergency Management. He served over the last 14 years, served a total of 12 counties and 52 municipalities as lead field response liaison with the Tatum Group. He's worked with elected officials across the state, sheriffs, county commissioners, on and on. And he has worked with FEMA quite a bit too, through his years of work. And anyway, I had talked to David about what the fee would be if he took this. And he had proposed a deal of $20,000 per year, starting January the 1st. Now, if we do agree to this, commissioners and everything, on the exhibit B, it had 1,700. It should be $1,666.67 for that service contract. But anyway, go ahead, Mr. Shaw. I'll let you respond to what you have done before, and by asking questions from commissioners.
Absolutely. So good morning, gentlemen. It's only been a few weeks since we've probably seen each other in meetings somewhere, but I know you guys have all been busy. And so, like the judge mentioned, conversation came up one day, and one of the things that has always been something that I've struggled with in the role of the state level as a district chief for my counties is small counties don't always have the staff and a budget for full-time emergency management coordinator. And I think what you've seen in this last disaster, and the sheriff and his staff have probably confirmed, it's a lot of work to be an emergency management coordinator. You're the county judge, and the EMD is too much work for you to do, too much for the commissioners for you to do. So my thing has always been, if there's a way I can find a solution for these small counties where they can have a professional EMC, but don't have to have a full-time person on the county roles. So I think that's a win-win for you guys. And I've seen this over the years many times. So the judge brought it up. I said, you know what? I think I've got a solution for you. This is something I've been thinking about for years. Let's give it a try. If it's something you guys want to do, I'll be glad to do it. And I'm right down the road. And I support those counties. All my counties in my district. I'm involved. I hired all the people that work with TDM that are in this county right now. They're all good people, and I think you guys will probably confirm they do a good job with you guys. So all of our state partners, the people that I've known for decades, I've worked with them hand in hand over many disasters for years. So it's not much of a leap to get from where we are now to where we could be next month, next year, whenever it started. But I'm available. I'll be glad to do the work for you. I enjoy the work. Like the judge said, I'm retired, and so we all kind of look forward to getting to that retirement piece. But at the same time, I like serving the community. I like serving the public. That's what I've always done. So I want to stay connected some way. I want to support this county if I can. So
David also stated that he would not need a vehicle, no gas allowance, would not need an office, no computer.
now most of the work we do in our world, we do out of a vehicle. I had an office over the last 15 years, but all the work we do is out of a vehicle, phone, radio, and response. So I don't need to be in an office anywhere to do this job. Anybody needs me, they just call me. We're 24/7, 365 in our role, so we're always on. So at 12 o'clock at night, 2 o'clock in the morning, the call comes in, we answer and respond. So we can do anything from our vehicle remote. So it frees up a lot of your resources and space. You don't need to cover me as an insurance and all that kind of stuff. So clean and simple is the way I look at it. Job doesn't change.
Commissioners, any questions for Mr. Shaw?
Yeah, I've got Well, you know, not necessarily for David, but, since we've got this thing, as opposed to an emergency management coordinator completely, we've kind of separate. You know, to where the paperwork, the billing and stuff through FEMA will be done on one side of the aisle. Your job basically would be on the other side of the aisle to do the contacting with FEMA and stuff.
So I think there's two different things, Commissioner, and one of them, which is what the discussion was, I think, with the judge is just taking on the daily duties of the EMC, meaning being able to respond to a disaster or an incident or emergency in the county, dealing with the state agencies that are constantly sending emails to the judge. Hey, Judge, we need you to look at this. Judge, look at your plans. Judge, be on this committee. So that role of the EMC is basically what we were talking about initially. The FEMA side, which is what we're dealing with right now, right? The disaster. That's a little bit of a different role. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of effort going on. So, what I would propose is that the day in and day out duties of an emergency management coordinator, that's kind of what we're looking at based on this professional services agreement. If indeed you need me to spend time working with FEMA on the disaster piece of this, the recovery piece that you guys are talking about, we could look at that too and say, okay, that's another 30 or 40 hours a week sometimes dealing with those recovery projects. So that's not really part of what I originally proposed. I'm open to doing the work, but my goal was to keep this down really low on a monthly basis to do the majority of the EMC work, but not necessarily be doing all of the FEMA piece of that.
No, that's what I'm saying. We basically have that kind of split.
And that's fine. That's good, actually.
But I think there will be the need for somebody to do the contact with the FEMA people. I don't think the person doing the paperwork or the billing out to FEMA should have to be doing the contact work with.
So we respond. Now I understand what you're trying to get to, and I follow you now. So as far as all of the day-to-day contact, anything that comes in from FEMA is going to come to me via EMC as the EMC and via emails. They're going to come to me now because once I'm identified on the TDM 147, right? Once I'm identified on there, any emergency management communications and continuity would come to me, and I'll coordinate and I'll do all that work. But the piece where we're actually taking staff from, and not know where all the staffing is, whether it's the county auditor's office or whoever's staffing have available. I'll coordinate all that work with that group for sure, 100%. I may not be able to dedicate all the hours needed to do that work, but I'll make sure it gets done. That's the work.
Yeah, I just don't. I mean, there are counties, even like Manatee County, that they have their EMC, but she doesn't.
Oh, yeah. If you're a full-time EMC and you're a full-time staff or you have additional staff, and that's something that's a different story, but that's normally how it would be done. But in this case right here, we're kind of doing it on a part-time, smaller scale. I'm open to that. If you want to talk more about that.
But I can see where the two job responsibilities are gonna be hand in hand.
Oh, yeah, they dovetail 100%. I think the only piece that we're talking about is how much of my time do I allocate to do that work, which can be substantial over the next several months, year, however long. Some of these projects can run out, 18 months. And so, and there's a constant communication back and forth with FEMA to work those projects. You guys just now starting to realize it's a lot of back and forth work.
I mean, we got all, but in this job description, you're talking.
But that's not a Holly job. That's
We're gonna have to find somebody that it is their job.
So the county liaison officer at the state level, yes, she's there as a coordinating piece, if you will. She's there to kind of help at the local level. So she would kind of be working with me, right? I'd work with Holly, say, Holly, this is what I need from FEMA, this is where we're at. But when it gets down past that line at the state level into the local jurisdiction level, that's not her role anymore. That's the local jurisdiction role. That's the EMC's job. So, yeah, there's so much she can do, but then she shouldn't be filtering down below that line.
I understand that, I guess I'm fighting with, where does so-and-so's job stop? Where does so-and-so's job?
Yeah, it can be a little squirrely, it looks a little like a quagmire, but I understand that, I've been doing it for a long time. I think once we agree to move forward, we can get all that lined out and roles and responsibilities. Here's what we need from this county office, here's what I need from the sheriffs, here's what I need from each of you commissioners. We'll get all that flushed out and we'll put a process in place. But until we kind of get to that point, it is a little squirrely. Who's doing what, who's on first, right? But I can fix all that for you if you need me to.
I guess the only other question I have, we approved the minutes. Although, July 22nd, number 7, we need to. And that,
You would have to, in my opinion, you would have to be put back on the agenda.
or do we want to say you were the MC for a week?
Being the director, I think I have discretion of appointing anyone I want to EMC as far as that now.
Yeah, like every process.
So I could resign and rescind my motion that's, which is gonna be effective January 1st. Now,
Of course, my question is do we want it? Why are we starting January the 1st if you're willing to start it now?
I'll start when
I mean, September, like when the new, October 1st, when the new budget goes in.
That was gonna be my question. Why, we'll go through most of the struggle and then he'll come and play.
well, good point. And I talked to the sheriff about this earlier and, you know, he was gonna do it till December 31st one time, but good point. I mean, we could sure make this October the 1st or something.
I'll start whenever you need me, because it doesn't matter. It's really about what works for you.
Well, there's, as you know, lots of work going on right now.
There's a lot of pieces moving right now.
Yeah, sure. Sheriff Floyd will state, Sheriff Floyd, he told me 1 or 2 calls a day, numerous emails a day, et cetera, meetings.
And it's just gonna get worse. I don't mean to put it, it's just gonna get worse for us.
Yeah, that's why I don't know if I want to wait till January.
Well, I agree. Good point, Commissioner Williams. I agree.
The other thing is on this exhibit A, scope of services. It doesn't have anything about, the role that the sheriff's department has told us that you have to do with the ISDs and all that. With the school districts.
Oh, the ISD.
Yeah, it doesn't, it has all the others listed, but it doesn't have the ISDs.
So I thought and that's a great point. So there's so many facets of emergency management as the sheriff brings up. So all of those different pieces of it, the EMC, I can fill that role. I didn't put them on the exhibit because I wasn't really sure what your vision was. What did you want that to look like? But if we need to deal with the ISDs, we'll deal with the ISDs.
I mean, I don't know what our vision is, because I thought when we let out the last one, it was the judge takes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Understood.
Just like,
So 4 hours later, so, yeah.
yes, that's where I'm not seeking, feeling my stuff. Everybody's plate's loaded.
I've heard this story 100 times. Yes, sir. But yeah, it's whatever you do.
Well, I think that's a good idea to start a new budget cycle October 1st. You know, should pretty well this.
And I'll tell you what we can do is we can go ahead, once, if the commission court agrees, what I can do is I can go ahead and submit the TDM 147, which is the designation form, right? For the enlistment. And once I do that, now they'll all have my email address. Now, all the communications from all the state partners will come to me. We'll let FEMA know, we'll go into the FEMA portal, we'll let FEMA know I'm the point of contact. So all that communication will be taken off of the sheriff or these 4 guys back, and it'll start coming to me, and then I'll coordinate that. So that'll save a little bit of that frustration.
David, one question about other counties, EMCs, you know, we of course, gave it another duty to our sheriff. Do most counties, I know Savannah has their own unique one or designated one, Hamilton County, most of the counties have their own EMC person?
Pretty much, that's, except for, Mills, Coyle County, Judge Miller is still the acting EMD. He has no EMC at this point in time. He's been managing that for a while. He's constantly looking for EMC.
Yeah.
Trying to interview and find somebody. It's just, it's a hard lift for a county judge to be as early on this. It's because it's a hard job.
Yeah. Well, we want it done professionally. I know you'll take care of business.
Yeah, well, down there, when you make it wonderful. You may want to do whatever, it may not be me, and I'm okay with that too, but if I can go volunteer, I'll.
Okay.
That's like in our meeting the other day with FEMA. They asked for a point of contact at that time, and we're gonna contact each commissioner, and that's gonna be a headache.
Yeah.
And
what, that's an excellent point. You want to consolidate all that communication to a central point, so we don't lose anything that's going on. It ends up over here in Commissioner Macker, in your area, and you don't relay that back, and you miss a deadline, and you miss a submission date. That's a problem, so it's an excellent point. You want to centralize point of contact.
I didn't look forward to being the contact in precinct. I mean, I am the contact precinct 1 to our county judge evidently, but having this would be, where we could all sit down in our workshops and one individual, to me, it'd be a lot simpler.
On all these workshops that we're fixing to have, do they have to be posted on these FEMA things?
I don't know.
I mean, what was it, the last one was a workshop, and then it was
Our county attorney's not here. I don't know where Gerald is. I don't know.
I mean, no decisions are being made, correct? Or were there decisions made at the last one? I wasn't there.
But there's just information being given to them.
You talking about the scope meeting?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna have several others, so.
Yeah, so, and there will be follow-up meetings, in this process. As far as being posted, are you saying posted for the commissioners court purview to
Yeah.
have an open meeting?
Yeah.
We don't typically do that, and that's
Yeah.
not something we.
I'm not seeing it in any other counties. I'm just trying to.
Not something we-
Cause our next one is August 14th. Which is
Not this
When
week,
they-
but next week.
when they come,
You gotta have all your
Come on,
paperwork done,
man.
by the way.
Yeah.
By Wednesday,
Next Wednesday.
yeah,
but this Wednesday, you gotta have your paperwork done.
yeah.
Okay. Any other questions or comments?
Well, just one, I guess, I guess with what all we've thrown at you. Is it still the same type deal or money wise?
Well, I think it's different, and I'm just gonna be honest with you. The way I kind of set up that business model a year or so ago is I looked at the size of the county's population of the counties, and typically a county under 20,000 residents, if you would, which of those kind of falls into that little frame. I kind of know what's needed, because I've done it so long, I know what you need, I know the amount of time and effort it takes. The unknowns are the incidents and the disasters and emergencies, those things we can't figure out those ways to do them. But just the day-to-day routine of the job, I basically charge you for about 10 hours of time a week, right? So $400 a week gets you to your 1660. So the FEMA piece, which is unique. So if you wanted to set up an amendment to the PSA and say, hey, well, $50 an hour, whatever that number is, I can bill you separately for that, right? So any FEMA work that I do, will code it differently, and then 10 hours, whatever the hourly rate we agree on, do it separately. I can do that, all right? And when we talk about how we're gonna run the FEMA projects, it's a lot of give and take. There's a lot of stuff I can do. There's a lot of stuff that you have to do. So I think you're starting to understand. There's a lot of work that your staff has to do, but we'll coordinate that between the two of us. But that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work going forward. I don't mind working, but it wasn't part of our original, understanding how this was going to work. So that's, I hope it's all.
So the proposal here today is just the emergency coordinator's position that the judge wants to put in place. That's the proposal in front of us.
Yes.
And so if we wanted him to do the FEMA, that would be another line item. I understand, but it's not on the system. Know what I'm saying? County attorney's not here, but
You guys, you remember from our workshops, from the briefing, so for the CAT Z, for the FEMA CAT Z, which is administrative cost, right? So you're aware that on those projects, 5% of that is coming back to the county. So I forgot what we had for the county, $600,000, I think, for the approved projects. So do the quick math, I don't know what that came out, was maybe $30,000, right? So $30,000 in CAT Z reimbursements would come back from the federal government back to the county. So keep that in mind. So
So you're saying,
$379, that's what earned the original one, but that was where we kinda came up. with
Oh, so
the
you,
money.
so you kind of did the math, yeah. So that's something that, yeah, kind of keep in mind too. And that doesn't mean that if there's other projects that we approve and that we process, that same 5% applies to any of those. So it could be more, could be less, but we kind of know roughly right now, say if you're 400,000 kind of approved, what that number looks like. So you have something coming back to you.
I don't have a problem putting it in the budget, Dale. It's not what I was trying to get out. I'm all for putting it in the budget for FEMA, but it's just not on this.
Yeah.
This proposal is what the judge is bringing
So,
before.
and the county's on that 5% back, they use that to pay other EMCs or whatever you're talking about.
That's county's money to do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a reimbursement for the cost to administer those projects.
But that money, in my understanding, was kind of what gave us the opportunity to set up this other.
Yeah.
Deal. Plus, and county money.
Well, it could be, and I don't want to get into all the minutia of the business, but it could be if the money's already in the budget in another county office, you could still just bill against that pool of money. It wouldn't, I don't know if it has to be a separate line item. Just if I spend 20 hours doing that work, just bill against that number you've already put in the budget. It's the same thing.
We put that in payroll, so it wouldn't be able, we wouldn't be able to fill that on contact papers. But we could do it that way, and I can charge you $50 for my hour. Do what? Just charge you $50 an hour. Instead of the 23.333 I make.
So in our proposed budget, well, I put in $20,000 proposed. Or of course, it's just EMC, not talking about all this FEMA stuff.
If we're gonna do it, it's a win-win situation for our county, going forward. If it's too much in your office, and that's where it comes from anyway, Judge, your office.
And I appreciate the expertise, at least, I mean, if you would help us out for a year or two, or, maybe even longer than that, but at least get us, what we might want, and if we want to look at it a year from now to go a full-time position, you can help us go into that full-time position. Not saying you're gonna do it, but if you wanted to, so.
Another excellent point, and I think when the judge and I were talking, I think over the next several months, we'll have a chance to go through all the programmatic pieces of emergency management in Wilson County, and kind of get everything lined out. So even if you want to hire somebody else, this will all be lined out. Everybody will be on the same page, you'll know what you're doing. So, yeah.
Honestly, we get help somewhere today, it's different. They're like, we all done this before, in 06, 07, none of us weren't even here.
I know. Again, in 4 years, you may not be here and somebody else sits in your seat and they're going, what are we doing? So our job is to make that consistent no matter who sits in the seat.
Especially with the knowledge that he brings to the.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I mean, we might as well take advantage of it, so.
I think we're lucky having Hills County.
I agree.
That's what I'm good at all.
Yeah, anytime.
We need it, maybe we need all the knowledge we can get.
This is when you run.
I know, I'm about sitting here, I'm backing up, looking on the sheriff. Y'all.
Nothing against the sheriff's department. We've already had this conversation. It's just,
It's a lot.
both of them have been thrown into it. Melissa's been there, what, a year and a half, 2 years? I mean, they've just kind of been thrown into it, and your expertise has done it for years, so.
I guess we didn't even ask him whether he'd be willing to relinquish
He says it today, right?
Well, he's getting a large increase in salary doing this right now, right? Getting nothing for it. He's wanting $50 an hour too. He's.
We all. Right. Commissioners? What do y'all want to do?
Make a motion that, we hire the EMS coordinator as of October the 1st.
EMC.
EMC, as of October the 1st.
Okay.
For
A total of 20,000.
what was presented on this.
Okay.
And that fund will come out to what, a month? $1,600 and something, I don't know what.
$1,666.67 per month.
I'll second the motion.
Okay. Motion's been made by Commissioner Wright, second by Commissioner Williams. Any other discussion?
One other thing for Summer.
Yeah.
Where is that? Is that gonna have to be built in the budget?
Yeah.
It is.
It's already put in the proposed budget, yes, 20,000. And the only other question, how big is the FEMA?
Well, we'll have to go back. That'll have,
address
you have to
that
put,
later.
yeah, that,
Okay, okay.
you need to find out and set him, have a meeting and put it on next Monday's agenda.
So we got a motion by Commissioner Wright. Who made the second?
Jason.
Commissioner Williams made the second. Any other discussion? All those in favor of appointing David Shaw as the emergency management coordinator?
Not appointing him,
Okay, excuse me.
it's doing the position.
Position. Position of MC, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. See how easy that was, David?
So see what, now you can go back and do, I mean, it's under your office, and so, yeah.
Yes, David. Thank you, gentlemen. We'll have more questions, I'm sure. All right. Okay, I think 17 is gonna be easier. Consider filing cabinet.
Starts this afternoon, right?
Yeah, consider and act on accepting a filing cabinet as a donation from Sonia Scott to use in the county district's clerk's office. Sonia, it's a filing cabinet. Want to donate it?
Yep.
Any questions, comments, discussion, commissioners?
Make a motion to accept the filing cabinet donated from Sonia. Scott.
Who's moving it in?
So there might be a little discussion on that. I'll have it in my car loaded tonight.
Well, let
I'll
me know.
second it, Mike.
Okay,
Okay, motion been made by Commissioner Wright to accept the filing cabinet, second by Commissioner Williams. All those in favor of accepting the filing cabinet, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Number 18, budget workshop with Charles Miles. As y'all can see, Charles Miles is not here this morning. He's deathly sick with the flu, right? One thing is you got some information, commissioners. Well, I sent it to you. I got some information late Friday afternoon. So I'll go over a few of the top things here. I can't get all the fine details that Charles would do, but I can show you that we're showing a surplus of $268,288.15 based on our last year's tax rate of 0.6061. Now, y'all saw the taxable revenues were up this year. Where those figures are. To $912 million for our taxable base. So a big increase there. Now, of course, what do we do with the budget surplus? This is all a Commissioner's Court decision. And oh, by the way, we will have another workshop again Monday, Commissioner's Court. Hopefully Charles will be well by then. If we need to have one earlier, we sure do it in the week. But talking to Charles, I feel like we need to do whatever we can to help our taxpayers in Mills County. It would lower the tax rate by a penny or 2 pennies. And the comment he had me, a 1 cent reduction on our tax rate would be about $66,000 or so decrease in our tax for the county. And again, we don't want to go too low in case something goes up the next year. I've been told by Charles, the wind turbines may bring in a little less money next year, next budget cycle. But anyway, commissioners, any comment? Mike, Robert?
we're gonna have I'd rather have Charles here where we could
Yeah.
ask questions to Charles and
Yeah.
stuff, but
And again, he was definitely sick. And again, if you want to do another workshop in the week, soon as Charles is able to, I can set it up. He's scheduled for Monday. We got another budget workshop with Charles to discuss all
Is
this.
it a workshop Monday or is it a court?
It's for Commissioner's Court, but Charles is scheduled to be on there. And the schedule, Commissioner Williams, according to the schedule, we're posting the public hearings for the August 19th meeting. I believe that's the date, August 19th, that Monday.
You're proposing to lower the tax rate,
Yeah, tax rate by a penny, possibly, if we can.
but y'all took money out of your budgets.
Well, my question is we're not, on the road and bridge side, we're not even getting 50%.
Yeah.
on the road, and we're less than 50% bringing in on the taxes. And then we're having to take out the other half, the other 50% out of the general fund.
Mhm.
My question to Charles is, could we increase the road and bridge tax so that we're not taking out of the general fund
Yeah.
so much money?
Yeah. And that'd be a Charles question, Mr. Williams.
I'm just saying, right, my thing is, I don't want to lower the taxes any. I hate to say that. Because if we're looking at next year or even the next year after that, that we're not getting windmill money, it's gonna be hard to go back up.
Sure.
If the sheriff's department needs, some more stuff next year because, they're the biggest expenditure right now, then if we go down too low, we can't go back up, then we're gonna have an election and all that other stuff.
Don't want that, agree.
Again, Charles would have to be here to run those figures. I agree with what Mike's saying. And so with him not here, I don't know if we can get any of those answers.
We're not right now, I agree.
Well, wait,
Correct. And then the question is, where do you put it? And so,
We talked about, we have all talked about a couple of things that we would add back. Like more money in contingency, just in case we have another insurance thing with the courthouse. I mean, we've had hail, we've had water. There's other things, and then you two lowered your budgets. Cut your budgets before we had the certified rolls, so you could add back there if you wanted to.
That's something that we did as all commissioners, didn't we? Except Robert, nothing on you, but we did drop our budgets, did we not? To cut it, to try to have a balanced budget on our.
right,
the way it
Yeah.
was looking was we were under the deficit. I don't understand these numbers, how $510,467 is a 10.22% increase. 10.22% increase on what?
but that based on new property values, I don't think it's necessarily the way. I can't, how that's.
I don't know where this came from, but
Charles,
But I need to ask him, but
Yeah.
particularly where we're gonna be dealing with FEMA. We don't have a clue what kind of money we're gonna recoup from FEMA. So I sure would
Okay.
not lower the tax rate, not going into something blind.
Okay.
And I don't think this number is correct on our unpaid debt obligations for the jail. I don't think that number is correct.
Yeah, I don't think you can figure out some of that.
You could pull that number off my last month's treasurer's report. I don't know where you got that number. Yeah. It's 4-7 or something.
Okay. So I'll visit with Charles again. I don't know if he's gonna be well within the week or not, but we do have him scheduled for Monday. So
We either need to have a
Well-
workshop or we need to have a pretty lengthy deal with.
I think, if he could do it in the week, we could post and everything, just a budget workshop in the week if he's able to make it. Let me visit with him and I'll see what his schedule looks like.
The only other thing, that I wanted to mention, since we're all doing extra work and we're trying to get everybody's salaries and, I mean, I love Senate Bill 22, but it's not helping some of the other offices. And just seeing what we've done in the last year, and I predict it to continue, and seeing what the trend is right now with the political world. The election office is putting in a lot of hours. Is there any way that we could give those officers or those people for elections any money extra? They're having to work, all the way, 7 days a week, 7 to 7. You see what I'm saying? And we're,
Talking about election workers or Sonia?
Yeah.
well, Sonia has to be there to do the workers, so. Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of like all of us in that situation. And I know this is an election year and it's been tough on her, but, it's been tough on county commissioners too, out here, what we've been dealing with. And I know that their
Agreed.
department, they have increased their department with employees. I wouldn't want to work with their hours, but we work it every day, it seems like, for a commissioner, so I don't know what you're asking.
Well, I'm just saying that we're helping the other departments out. And we're helping the treasurer's office out for doing the extra FEMA work.
Well, I can see that, you know, it's, we're,
It's kind of a different horse there.
yeah.
I mean, I ain't saying, now I'm talking about myself along with everybody else. You knew what the job paid when you're in for it. That's where it stopped.
Yeah, she didn't. That was me.
No, no. But I mean,
You know, just know that she works. Yeah, okay.
Appreciate you recognizing the work we do, but I did not ask.
They'll do a great job.
Sure.
we all appreciate what everybody.
Yeah, everybody's-
Everybody goes about it.
Everybody's busy.
But at the same time, we're in it for the job.
Well, let me, commissioners, I want to visit with, maybe later today, I'll see how Charles' status is, see if he's feeling better or what, and maybe we'll shoot for a workshop Friday. And then we'll still have another commissioners court meeting Monday that's scheduled already, that y'all scheduled, if we do it. And just do nothing but budget workshop with Charles, for that work with y'all schedule. Thursday afternoon or Friday?
Good Thursday,
Thursday's better,
yeah, for me.
okay. Let me, make a note call and see if we can make it work. Only did morning on Thursday, okay? Okay. Okay, all right,
I don't have to be here if somebody will take notes on what we're changing. What line items we're changing, detailed notes on what line items we're changing, so I can update them. I can't be here in the afternoon though. That's what I'm trying to say. I won't be here.
and he still may be contagious, I don't know.
I mean, he has what I had.
Yeah.
He'll be sick for a long
Yeah,
time.
so, I don't know, and doing Friday without working, if you.
I can make it work. Then you're talking about working over, yeah.
Yeah, well,
We
sure.
already,
Well-
well, in our day, but that's all.
Yeah, Jason.
Well,
I mean, I think we need to do it,
Uh-huh.
because we don't need to hash this thing for a long time next Monday, because that's regular board.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Okay, okay, I'll get back and, let y'all know what we're here.
Do it Thursday morning. Do it Thursday morning.
Well, we'll see, we
FEMA
gotta
instead,
do 70 hours, 72 hours. No, check, we'll be back in touch with you. Anything else on, budget workshop with Charles? Remember, not here now, we'll go. Anything else?
No, just on budget though, so we're gonna vote on the 19th, is that the
Yes,
plan?
vote on the tax rate, the budget on the 19th.
Okay, and what does it say on the notifications in the newspaper, do you remember?
Well, they're being sent out, same thing as last year. About the public hearing.
Just making sure, so that means that we'll have to be. We have to agree on it on the 12th. Right? You have to agree on the 12th way this budget's gonna be if we're gonna vote on it on the 19th,
Yes.
or disagree.
to have another workshop.
Unless you got another workshop.
Okay, anything else? Okay, here in number, what is it, 19, Commissioners' Request Reports, Commissioner Wright, go ahead.
We've been working on our 120M2 and our 12H. We've been pushing pretty hard. We had to blade some roads ever so bad, and it's a dry, but we did what we had to do. We bladed 423, 424, 429, 411, 410, and 443. We're still in the process of repairing the flood stuff on County Roads 306, 313, 310, and 314 on flood damage. And that's about all we've done.
Okay, Commissioner Head?
We worked on County Road 240, got it, cleaned up, grabbed a lot of material. And, got it cleaned up where it's, don't have a big old pothole right in, or crater right in the middle of it. We worked on 210, Replaced tin horn there that was pretty much gone. We worked on 213, where we flooded real bad, we increased some tin horns. And then, worked on 220, where it washed over the road and we, guy down the road from us gave us some rock and we put it in place.
Okay.
Are you through with the, brush cutter?
Yes, Michael,
Okay, yeah, we've been
I mean,
talking.
we've talked about that.
Yeah. I need to get it, I'm gonna go ahead and get it, take it
Like I
out.
said, I ain't looked at it since all the rain.
Okay. But we got so much Johnson grass, we gotta get that done.
Okay, Commissioner Porter?
Basically been blading some washout, trying to get the roads back from Mullen towards Zephyr in shape. Getting lots of complaints on them, having to use the shredder because the Johnson grass with all the rain has went nuts. So we're having to basically shred both sides to see what we can pull without pulling up a bunch of Johnson grass. Been trying to get bills together on this broke down equipment. Dump truck sitting in a shop over at Brownway, we got it back together. Well, now they're saying the rear end of it's out of line. So got them working on that, got the bills from the mechanic stuff. Do not have bills from CAT yet, call them, dig up, get any response. So that's what the line item transfer was, hopefully we'll cover all that, but the maintainer is still down. Don't know what we're gonna do. CAT's looking at 30 to 40,000, we're not going that direction. So, anyway, it's sitting there dead, getting lots of comments, well, you got a maintainer sitting over at the cemetery, why don't you use it? So, we're blading when it's too dry to blade, but we don't have any choices. So we got to do something to get the roads decent. There was something else. But
Any good news?
no, absolutely nothing.
We got a little rain sign.
We didn't get nothing. So I guess my other concerns is we're supposed to have this farm into Lenora, Holly, whoever. There's not even enough room on that farm to write anything. And that's supposed to be in Wednesday with the width of the roads, the depth of the roads. Cost.
Friday saying that, didn't it say that they would mark it with the longitude, latitude, and they would measure the width and stuff? When they went on site. visit?
Yeah, I called Holly about that farm.
We're gonna do that on site.
And I called Holly about that farm, and she said they would do that on site. Only thing she needs is an email, or a list of all the roads that we would like for them to see. And I made a comment about the length of some of our roads, and she said, if you can, put down the length of the road and what road you want us to see. And that's,
No GPS coordinates.
she said that she said FEMA's supposed to, when we take FEMA around, they're the ones that's gonna fill out that paper.
That's on Friday.
They might get this.
I have no clue, but I mean, I was working through it, and I
Write down what roads you wanna go into in the priority in which you think they need to be fixed. You have to turn that in.
To be fixed or are fixed?
To be fixed.
That's less than 50% fixed. And then they sent out another email on Friday, maybe it was Holly, saying that they would help y'all mark the longitude and latitude and then measure that when y'all went to the actual road. I'll go back and look and see.
I know it was on a text message, I'm pretty sure it was on a text message.
But we don't even get service in some hours when we
But
go.
anyway, the only other concern that I've got. So they're gonna look at something. We do have some roads that we have one or two that have been completed, but we have pictures prior. I still want them to look at them, because if there is.
I think they're good. I think what they said in that meeting is that those pictures before and after are gonna qualify them to be will make them
I know
refundable.
they don't want to, but we're still going to look at them.
That's probably not your choice.
If I say we're going 520.
Well, then you'd be missing out on time trying to get funding on the roads that aren't fixed.
He told us if we will be allowed.
I know
If
we
you declare them all under 50% done, then you can go back and you can take them to them.
I mean, I think you could submit the pictures and the stuff right now and probably start getting refunded money if we can provide how we paid for them.
And
You
so
don't have to worry about that.
Hamilton County, Holly was telling me Friday, one commissioner took 4 days to go through his precinct. Another commissioner took a day and a half. And then one commissioner took a half a day. It depends on where the damage was in those areas. And so you can't go by one precinct to the other. Yeah. And so, but if one of them went 4.5 days, that's a whole week. So, I mean, it takes a while to get to go see all of them. You're gonna measure them, they're gonna do all that. But the way Holly, and I talked to Lenora Friday too, you got to have like some are saying, you gotta have a priority list. Number one priority is the first one you list. Number 2, number 3, and that's how they're gonna go look at them, is based on priorities.
Holly just told me.
That's what Lenora said, and then Holly said that they're gonna go to all of them that's on your list.
That's what she told me, so my,
Lenora said you're going priority number 1, and then.
well,
That doesn't mean that they necessarily will go that way and.
right, I mean, it don't matter to me, cause we're gonna hit every road anyway that's on the list, so whether it's priority or not as priority, it's still
I
gonna.
think what they're asking is, what is your most expensive road costs gonna be? Name that one first and then go down that.
I've already turned my list in, so, and I listened.
But
I
that's
listened
what
to
it
it. I sent it to Holly Friday.
What would make sense to me is, as big as our precinct is, to regionalize it, the pretty area. Lake Marion area, not ours, because you may have one pretty.
Well-
I'm saying on the list, they want to see the priority votes, they'll actually visit them, that's probably not the case. That would be silly to go from one here, then, that's gonna be.
I'm a little bit confused. Why are we sending it to Holly?
Because when I talked to her Friday, she said, send it to me and I'll.
But
And I'll-
Holly's not on any of the threads that are going on this, none. It's all Judge, Sheriff Poole, and Summer. So I didn't understand why we're sending it to Holly. Holly has nothing to do with it. She's just, by FEMA contract, she has to ride with FEMA to be in the truck with them.
I think she's just trying to help us, Jason.
Okay, but I'm just trying to.
If you'll let me finish. When I talked to Holly Friday, I asked her about that. She said, just send me a list of roads and I'll make sure whatever that lady's name is, Lenora gets it. And she said, whether you can email it or handwrite it to me, just give me a list of roads and I'll make sure she gets it. And I said, okay, Holly, I'll send you the email of them. And that's what I did. She probably did. I mean, but she said, just send it to me and I'll make sure the right person gets it for you, Robert. And I said, okay, thank you. Cause I asked her about this deal and I said, this don't make no sense. I started questioning it. And she said, she said, no, FEMA's filling that out. Just send me a list of the roads and I'll send it to her. Okay.
Okay, I'm done.
Okay, Commissioner Park, you done? Commissioner Park's done. Commissioner Williams, go ahead.
Again, out a couple of days last week for some medical issues, but still plenty busy. We worked on several roads, mainly blading them, but we've also done some road repairs from the flooding. Worked out on County Road 433 was the big one last week. Also on Thursday night, I met with the city council of Goldthwaite, talking about using the material at the golf course. This is gonna be a continuation, go back again. But they do not really want to do in-kind work. The city manager would prefer to be at payment and get money based on how much yardage that we get out of there. there was some issues going on with the city council. The golf course wants the money, that if we were to pay it, they want to use it to help the golf course. But the city council doesn't know if they want to give it to the golf course because they don't know how to manage money. I said, well, that's not in my privy, and that was 90% of the conversation. But, so we're, the city manager and I are supposed to get together in the next 2 weeks. Go through and look and, see what that is, and then, I'm still waiting on FEMA to get a call back if we do testing out there on a core sample, because the city council would want a core sample out there, which we were talking about. We had it on the agenda and tabled it a while back, but so, if FEMA would do that core testing, I don't know. If not, I'm gonna have to get it out of my budget, and I don't know how much that costs. So, and trying to get it out this year. The only other option is if we were to buy material from them, it would have to come out of our road and bridge money that we've already set aside for material. So each precinct would have to buy material from them. The first figure that they brought off, they nailed off was like $10 a cubic yard. That's before you get it crushed, dug, or anything. And so, you know, we all know that you can get it cheaper just going out to Scott. So, that doesn't look favorable at all.
Much work, Jason, is it worth it?
Huh?
As much work you're gonna have to do as far as the county, is it worth it?
I don't know, but I don't, I got mixed emotions from the city council, so I don't know if it's even worth it or not. I mean,
Me, you can buy it a lot easier and you got one person to deal with instead of so many out there. And
well, it was kind of like, okay, and then they didn't.
I know it'd be handy for you and I hauling it, but I don't know about these other.
I know that the material, if it's the same material that they dug the reservoirs across from Tim Spradley, that material met TxDOT's 100% approval on compaction. And we're talking, what, one pasture between them? So, you know, I mean, the material is probably gonna be good. But, I'm like you, Mike, I don't know if the headache's worth the.
Because Scott told me one time that basically like your landowner, they're allowing them $2 a yard,
Well,
you know, so that's.
Carlisle's saying that it's somewhere between $5 and $6 roughly to blast and crush and get that, you know, to get it done per cubic yard. And so you do that and then you know, so that's what you're paying them. And if the city wants $10, you're at 16. But I don't know what the city wants, but,
They may want to keep their dirt.
that's what it sounds like. But anyway,
You don't have
again,
any
I'll meet
local
with
agreement?
Rob. I'll come back with y'all probably next month and when we find out what's going on and stuff like that. But I'm kind of leaning what Mike said. It's kind of maybe more work. And I was just trying to help the golf course out. That's the whole thing. And anyway, so that's the report on that.
Okay, number 20, county judges report. So first off, Mills County Historical Commission will meet tomorrow in the 1888 jail for the first time. We're moving out on the 3rd floor. So we'll start having meetings there with the Historical Commission. Commissioner, I know y'all's plates are full up. Y'all, we can help anyway in my office, let us know. Also, we reported earlier the handicap entrance will be closed until this Friday. So anybody who's listening via YouTube, please contact the respective office or call my office, and we'll sure make accommodations for you. And the only thing else, as y'all saw, the temperature is going to be the triple digits this week. So everybody, please be careful of any outside work. As you know, we're still in a burn ban, so be very, very careful. And that's all I got for county judge report. Mike, number 21, adjournment.
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
Second.
Motion been made by Mike Wright, second by Commissioner Head. All in favor of adjourning, say aye. Aye. Meeting adjourned. Everybody.